The story begins with AG receiving a message from his girlfriend. She said sorry to him and told him that something came up with her club activities and she just can't get out of it. AG replied saying that it's fine. He asked her to not worry and said good luck to her for her club practice. AG was sitting holding his phone. He is really sad because today it was supposed to be their special birthday date, but she didn't come. AG's girlfriend is his childhood friend Miyuki. They became girlfriend-boyfriend after AG confessed to her last Christmas. It's been half a year, and because AG has been too hesitant, they still haven't even kissed. To AG, Miyuki is like an idol he always admired. If they weren't childhood friends, he probably couldn't even talk to her, let alone date her. AG was walking outside looking at his phone thinking that he never imagined Miyuki would blow off their very first date as a couple. He even went all out for today. While walking on the streets, he reached a movie theater. Looking at the theater, he thought that this theater is the one where he and Miyuki were supposed to come together and enjoy their date. He started dreaming about Miyuki sitting beside him and they both holding hands while watching the movie. AG immediately gets embarrassed and tries to not dream about these things. After some walking, AG accidentally reached an area where there were mostly couples. Everywhere AG looked, he only saw couples talking to each other, holding hands, and also kissing. Seeing the scene, he realized that this is the Love Hotel district and got really embarrassed. Because of the location, AG's dream changed from just holding hands to doing their first act in bed. Thinking that, AG called himself an idiot and decided to forget it for now. Suddenly, his pupil shrunk because he just saw someone. He looked back and saw his childhood friend, who is also his girlfriend, walking with another boy. Miyuki happily cuddled this boy's arm and walked beside him. They are in a love district, which means they aren't just friends. AG was really shocked and called Miyuki's name from behind. When Miyuki looked at him, she was really shocked and couldn't even say his name properly. They both asked at the same time, "Why are you here?" AG was really shocked seeing his girlfriend with someone else. He grabbed Miyuki's hand tightly and was about to ask her something. Right at that moment, a punch landed on Miyuki's face because of which he fell on the ground. This punch was thrown by this new Miyuki's boyfriend. After landing the punch, the boy cursed AG and asked him what he's trying to do with his girlfriend. Hearing that, AG tried to talk, asking him what he's talking about. He told him that she's the one who has cheated on him. Boy didn't listen to him and asked him if he's some kind of stalker. Boy also asked Miyuki to say something to him. It turns out the boy knows who AG is because Miyuki has told him about AG. Boy looked at Miyuki and asked her to tell him how she's only dating AG because they're childhood friends. Or how he's boring, or how his hands are gross when he tries to hold yours. AG was still trying to process what was going on when he got another shock. While AG hasn't even kissed Miyuki, she and her new boyfriend have already done many acts in the bed many times. And everything that boy said just now are the things that Miyuki said to him when they were in the bed together. AG couldn't believe what he just heard. Seeing that Miyuki isn't saying anything to AG, her new boyfriend told him that if she really likes AG, he doesn't mind leaving her now. Boy gave her a choice. He asked to choose between him and AG. She had to leave one. Hearing that, Miyuki was about to cry. She didn't choose AG, but this new guy. She threw herself into his arms saying that if he leaves her, she'll not be able to continue living. Seeing that, AG was really shocked. He couldn't believe that the girl, who he thought was pure and his girlfriend, was cheating on him right in front of him. Boy smiled looking at Miyuki's behavior. He rubbed her head and asked her to clearly say to AG what she told him in the bed when they were together. So, she said to AG he was my childhood friend, but now he's clingy, like a stalker. A horrible abusive boyfriend. When AG heard that, he finally lost all light in his eyes and couldn't say a word. Then, the boy asked Miyuki to tell AG properly that she's leaving him. She didn't even think for a moment and with a smile she said, "I'm sorry, AG. I can't be with you anymore." She also asked him to not talk to her at school either. From this day onward, AG's happy everyday life began to fall apart. After a while, he entered a restaurant named Kitchen Ono. Workers inside welcome him. This place is AG's home. A guy asked him if he wanted something to eat. But AG just said thanks and left. He was completely broke. After learning that Miyuki cheated on him, He ended up just staying in bed from the shock. All he could do was wait for time to pass. Outside his room, a woman was standing with a plate of food. She asked him if he wanted to eat, but AG refused. From that day, he kept having only one dream. In the dream, he saw Miyuki and that guy together in the bed. While enjoying herself, Miyuki was talking about how AG is disgusting. She said that just because they were childhood friends, he misunderstood and got all clingy. Saying that, they both started doing their deed. While they were enjoying themselves, AG was crying standing outside the room seeing everything. This is the dream that AG has daily. He couldn't even sleep properly just because of this dream. Next day when AG was going to school, his friend came from behind asking him if he and Miyuki had done something new. Before AG could answer, he saw Miyuki in front of him walking and talking happily with her friend. Seeing her, AG remembered some childhood memories. When they were children, they were really good friends. Miyuki even talked about becoming his bride. In the school, AG tried to talk to Miyuki. When Miyuki looked behind, her friend stopped him. She called AG an abusive creep and also asked to not talk to Miyuki from now on. Miyuki didn't even say anything and just left. Before leaving, Miyuki's friend warns AG that if he keeps on trying to get involved with Miyuki, she will not let him get away. At home, AG was in his bed when he suddenly received a message from an unknown account. They cursed him and called him an abusive creep. Like that, AG received hundreds of messages from unknown people where they call him abusive creep, or cheater and many other things. Looking at these messages, AG couldn't do anything. Poor guy didn't even do anything but had to endure this kind of abuse. Next day when AG entered his classroom, everyone talked behind his back, calling him many kinds of abusive things and cursing him. When Miyuki tried to say that he didn't do anything, no one believed him. Because AG is just a normal guy, he's not even popular and is really weak. On the other hand, Miyuki and her new boyfriend are really popular, everyone will believe what they'll say. During break, AG was sitting alone eating his lunch with empty eyes. Not even his club members let him join in projects. They make many excuses and never let AG become part of their club activities. Even though he received the message that club activities got cancelled, he went to check if it's really true. When he reached the room, he was about to enter when he suddenly heard students asking someone if they had lied to AG that club activities were cancelled. When AG heard that, he started crying. Poor guy has to go through many things, even though he hasn't done anything wrong. Because no student was on his side, AG decided to talk to his teacher. But before he could talk to her, he saw Miyuki and the homeroom teacher talking bad things about AG, which means not even teachers are on his side. In his school closet, students left not calling him abusive and stalker. Because of all this, AG left the school and directly ran to his home. He didn't tell anything to his mom because he doesn't want her to get worried or sad for him. After his dad died, his mom and older brother are taking care of the restaurants so AG doesn't have to go through financial problems. He doesn't want to become a burden to his family. So, he acted happy in front of them. At Miyuki's house, she also hasn't been able to sleep since that day. She sat on her bed wondering how things turned out like this. She keeps thinking that maybe that day was just a dream. She thinks that if Kanoto, her new boyfriend, hadn't been there, if she had just clung to AG crying, saying she didn't want to break up. At school, when she saw AG getting bullied, she almost started crying. But she tried to hold her tears. She remembers how it all started as just a silly love talk. She was happy, but their relationship wasn't progressing. Her friends misunderstood that as a problem and introduced her to Kanoto, who had dating experience. She tried to turn it down, but Kanoto was athletic and smart, the ace of the soccer team, handsome and gentlemanly. Unlike AG and her, who were each other's first loves, Kanoto had a more mature view of relationships. To Miyuki, he seemed incredibly attractive. One day when Miyuki and Kanoto was hanging outside, they kissed each other. From then on, everything that Miyuki was supposed to give to AG, she gave all that Kanoto. Even though she doesn't want to do it, one part of her was also feeling good. One day when Miyuki was in bed with Kanoto, he set a date when they should hang out again. When Miyuki heard the date, she said that on that day, she had to go out with AG. Hearing that, Kanoto said that he'll just go out with another girl. But Miyuki wasn't willing to see that, so she tried to stop him. Kanoto said that she always put AG before him, so he said to her that they should end their relationship here. Like this, they'll both be happy. But Miyuki wasn't willing to. She chose Kanoto. She thought that whatever she'll do, AG will forgive her, so she kept going out with Kanoto. Miyuki has spent 10 years of her life with AG. She thought that she'll marry AG. But the woman in her whispered otherwise. She feels like she needs to confess everything to everyone. She knows that she's in the wrong, she's the one who cheated on AG, but she refuses to accept it because she's terrified of losing everything. The next day, the same thing happened to AG. He got bullied, everyone called him abusive and blah blah. Today, he met Kanoto and asked him why he's spreading lies. Kanoto answered that it's fun. He's just doing this because he wants to enjoy a great show. Before leaving, Kanoto asked AG to drop out and also told him that he loves wrecking other people's lives. Hearing that, AG fell to the ground unconscious, thinking that he can't do anything now. He realized that no one is going to help. Even the teachers will take the side of smart and capable Miyuki. He can't even talk to his mom and brother because they're already doing everything for him. Right when he was thinking that, he received a message from his club members that they had kicked him out because of what he had done to Miyuki. Seeing that, he started crying, but he couldn't do anything about it. He thought that he'll just endure this for half a year until his graduation. After that, he'll be free from this hell and move on. But after hearing what other students talked about him daily, he wondered if he should just jump out from the rooftop and end it all. When he went to the rooftop to do that, he saw a really cute girl. At the end of hopeless despair with no escape, that's when he met the girl who could change his fate. When the girl saw AG, she asked him about who he was. He answered that he's AG, second year. He told her that he was skipping class and wandering around the school, and he just happened to end up here. AG rubbed his neck and thought that there's no way he can say that he came up here to jump off the roof. This girl is Ichiju AI, a brilliant girl who placed first in last year's entrance exams. With her kindness to everyone and her beauty, she instantly became the school idol after enrolling. AG thought that bunch of guys in her class might have already confessed to her. AI didn't say anything and asked him why he came here now of all time. Hearing that, AG says sorry and assumes that she has already heard the bad rumors about him. He asked her if she could let him have a spot here. He said that he just wanted to hide out until lunch break. She simply answered no and told him that this is her spot, so she will not give it up. AG heard that and asked her if she's sure. He asked her if she had heard rumors about him. AI answered with yes. AG was about to explain further, but AI stopped him and said that she will not give him spot no matter what. She said that she knows that rumor. But they're just rumors. She hasn't seen AG abusing Miyuki herself, so she doesn't believe those rumors. She said that romance is kind of like an illness. Why would you believe such a one-sided and vague story? According to her, students these days overreact too much, lynching someone without even knowing the truths. To AI, it's just too awful. AG was shocked hearing that and asked AI if she believes in him. AI answered that it's not about believing or not believing. It's just that hurting someone based on biased and one-sided information is too big a risk. AG got even more shocked and with gloomy eyes, he said thanks to her. AI got startled hearing AG thanking her and asked him why he's thanking her. AG just laughed and said that it's fine if she doesn't know. Right at that moment, rain started. As they both were standing on the rooftop, they both started getting wet. AG immediately asked AI to go inside with him. If she stays here, she'll get cold. But AI didn't listen. She asked him to leave her alone. AG still tries to talk to her, but she doesn't listen. AI shouted that he really doesn't get the reason why she was here all alone. AG got confused because he really doesn't know the reason why she was here all alone. So AI told him that getting soaked in the rain and catching a cold, she said that there's no need for him to worry about her. She said with a sad face, because there's no tomorrow for me. AG realized what she meant and asked her to calm down. But AI has no intentions to back out, she shouted, asking AG to leave her alone because she wants to die. Hearing that, AG ran toward her and grabbed her arm, asking her to stop. Because of the wet floor, AI accidentally slipped and fell on AG. She quickly got up and asked AG why he's trying to protect her. Her concern is that if the fence had been old or unstable, they both would have fallen down at that moment. Hearing that, AG asked her to shut up and said that he doesn't need a reason to save someone. Before AI could say anything, AG said to her that if she really wants to die, then at least go out with him for just today. He said that they should skip school together and go out. When she heard that, AI blushed and asked him if he even understood the situation right now. AG also calmed down and said that he couldn't help it. He told her that he came here planning to die too, but he never thought he'd end up stopping a junior from doing the same thing. AI was stunned for a moment and then started crying, agreeing with him. They both sat together in the rain and laughed for some time. After that they both went inside. When they went inside, AG offered her a towel and asked her to dry herself a little. At first, AI was hesitant because she's taking the only towel that AG has. But in the end, she took it. She was about to use it when she noticed that AG was looking at her, so she asked him to not stare at too much. AG immediately looked away and let her use the towel. But just after a moment, AG started looking at her again. She again noticed that and told that what he's doing is sexual harassment. With that, she buttoned up her shirt and asked him what they're going to do now. She reminds him that he invited her to skip school, so he must have some kind of plan. AG smiled and said that he doesn't have any plans. At that moment, he was desperate, so he just invited her without thinking. Saying that, AG added that this really isn't the cool kind of delinquent thing or anything. When AG saw her laughing, he couldn't believe that AI could smile like that. According to some classmates who confessed to her, her replies were always cold like this. Why would you think you can date someone you don't even know? To some she said, do you have any idea what it feels like to suddenly be confessed to by a total stranger? All I feel is fear. To some she said that they're only interested in her look or status. That's the reason AG couldn't believe that AI could smile like this, because she never accepted anyone's proposal and became friends. AG was thinking that she'll tear apart his suggestion of going out with him, but her response was unexpected. After that, AI returned the towel to AG. But when he was about to take it, his stomach made a voice. He got really embarrassed and started checking his bag to find something to eat. Before coming to school, he packed some rice balls, so he's finding them. He took out rice balls and also shared them with AI. She accepted them without saying a thing and started eating immediately. She also liked them very much. After taking a bite, her eyes shined brightly. She guessed that this was tuna mixed with mayonnaise. AG confirmed her guess and asked her if she never ate it before. AG told her that what she's eating is a classic rice ball filling at convenience stores tuna mayo. She heard everything with concentration, and after hearing that she said, everyone's been eating something this good. Seeing her expressions, AG told her that there are tons of delicious things out there too. He said that it'd be such a waste to die without knowing them. AI immediately got interested and said that this is really good. Hearing that, AG invited AI to his place. Because of this sudden invitation, she blushed and was really startled. After a while, they decided to leave the school and go out. While they were walking, AI stopped him and told him that the front gate is locked, so she asked how they were going to go out. When AG answered that they're going to climb up, she got really embarrassed and reminded him that she's wearing a skirt, so she can't do that. AG immediately told her that he's joking and also told her that he has a way to go out. He asks her to see that metal door to the side of the front entrance. He explains that from this side, they can unlock it, but once it closes, it locks automatically. You can't get in front of the outside, but it's easy to exit inside. Learning that, AI asked him why he knew something like that. AG thought that she's honor student, so she obviously did not know something like this. Suddenly, AG grabbed AI's hand and said that once in a while it is fine to skip school. With that, they decided to go out. When AG realized that he's holding AI's hand, he blushed so hard that his whole face turned red. But AI isn't feeling embarrassed. She asked him why he's blushing. She's in a hurry to leave the school, so asked to start walking quickly. Even though he knows she's not minding it, he still asks her if it's really fine that a guy, who she just met, is holding her hand. AI answered that she'd be lying if she said she's feeling uncomfortable at all. But she saw people doing it in movies or plays, so she doesn't mind it. Before they started walking, she told him that this was her first time holding a guy's hand, so she asked him to take good care of it. With that, AG started walking saying that he won't overthink it. Someone called them from behind asking them what they're doing. But they didn't look back even once. As if leaving their past behind, they faced forward. Aoi still couldn't quite explain the comfort she felt when she was around him. Even when he suddenly reached for her hand, a surprising calm washed over her. As one of the top idols in school, Aoi was used to being surrounded by empty compliments and shallow pickup lines from boys who only cared about her image. Their predictable words had long lost any effect on her, to the point where she wished she could escape from all of it. But something was different this time. Clutching her hand tightly, she found herself thinking about AG. Unlike the rest, he didn't treat her like a trophy. Her cheeks flushed as she realized this was the first time someone had genuinely made her heart skip a beat. While the two of them ran together, far from the noise, were introduced to the walking dumpster fire that is Kondo. He proudly referred to himself as the center of the universe, a self-proclaimed king. Born into privilege, everything came easily to him, thanks to his father, a powerful city councilman who paved the way for his spoiled lifestyle. From elite schools to top-tier sports, Kondo never faced hardship. He realized early on that he had a knack for soccer, and without much effort, he dominated local games and made his way to the national level. Life was one big game, and he played it with cheat codes. Soon, pro teams had already locked him in with contracts. But that was only the surface. His tall frame and handsome face had made him a magnet for female attention since childhood. So much so that he had a girlfriend for nearly every day of the week. Then one day, he stumbled across a site that piqued his twisted interest. A plain, unimpressive guy in a happy relationship with a rising school idol. That alone stirred something ugly inside him. He'd heard whispers that the couple even spoke of marriage. Kondo's only reaction? Pure lust and a craving to ruin it all. He didn't waste time. Within days, he manipulated his way into the girl's life. It didn't take long before she was completely under his spell. At first, she laughed off her boyfriend. Then she began criticizing him, echoing how AG's ex had behaved. To Kondo, it was like watching a familiar play unfold. The girl began complaining about her boyfriend, calling him a hopeless anime-obsessed nerd. Kondo secretly recorded their conversations and later showed them to the boyfriend. Watching the poor guy's expression crumble as he heard her words gave Kondo a sick thrill. That broken boy cried, utterly devastated, asking why he'd been betrayed. Kondo, watching the heartbreak unfold, felt a rush of pleasure so intense it surpassed anything he'd ever felt with a girl. The emotional destruction was what truly satisfied him. Predictably, the girl quickly distanced herself from her now embarrassing boyfriend. But Kondo soon grew bored of her. The moment she became clingy, she lost all value to him. What really drove him was taking what belonged to others. As the girl kept inviting him over more frequently, her grades began to nosedive. It wasn't long before the rest of the school began whispering about her downfall. That was Kondo's cycle: charm, conquer, and discard. His end goal was always to shatter relationships, use women, and leave them behind in emotional ruins. Like always, he dumped the girl when she was no longer fun. She cried, just like Miyuki before her, but to him, it was the same boring act. While she sobbed, Kondo already had his phone out, texting another girl, insulting her appearance and calling her pathetic. This was his routine: find pure-hearted girls, seduce them, and then trash them. And it wasn't just about breakups. After being dumped by Kondo, these girls often became targets of bullying and harassment, pushed around by his loyal followers and other students who delighted in their misery. He thrived in their suffering. Watching someone fall gave him a sense of superiority, as though he grew taller with each person he destroyed. Eventually, his next victim was Miyuki. After dragging her into his mess, it was time for him to set his sights on AG. Before any gossip even started, Kondo grabbed her wrist, which already showed marks and bruises. He snapped photos that made her look like a victim and carefully crafted a lie that would spread like wildfire. He uploaded the photos online, making the narrative even more convincing by playing into her false fragility. Within hours, the whole school had seen them. Grinning to himself, Kondo sat back, eagerly waiting to see how far AG would fall. Meanwhile, Miyuki, already trembling from the thought of her secret being exposed, found herself overwhelmed with guilt and fear. She nervously pointed out that someone had erased the hateful messages written on AG's desk. Because he hadn't returned since going to the roof, many assumed he'd done something drastic, and now some students felt regret, trying to clean up their mess. Her clueless little brain wondered if AG had decided to leave school for good, all because of her betrayal. We saw her brief attempt at acting strong while Kondo was busy spinning his lies. She kept telling herself that she wasn't responsible for any of it, that she didn't know what was going on. Then she saw AG. There he was, walking into view, and for a moment, her world lit up. She saw her supposed future and savings plan alive and well. She called out to him joyfully, only to spot another girl holding his hand. That one glimpse shattered her illusions. Reality slammed into her like a brick. Her eyes widened in disbelief, and as the truth sank in, all her fake confidence collapsed. Tears streamed down her face, and she screamed at the girl, accusing her of being a homewrecker. Meanwhile, their homeroom teacher, Takayangi, let out a long breath of relief. He had just spotted AG walking around and was glad to see he hadn't done anything reckless. Takayangi had seen the state of AG's desk earlier, covered in erased insults. During roll call, he had looked for AG but was told by the class that he was in the nurse's office. Sensing something was off, he instructed the class to head to the gym and left to search. As he stepped outside, he remembered that Miyuki had once been close to AG. He glanced at her, noticing the sweat on her face and the empty look in her eyes. She looked like she'd just seen a ghost. As he slid the door open, another staff member, the nurse, approached. She informed him that AG wasn't in the infirmary and hadn't been seen in a while. Sensing that something serious was happening, she offered to search the school. Takayangi replied that he'd head to the vice principal's office instead. He passed along the concern to another staff member and then returned to class, his tone colder than ever. Facing his students, he demanded to know if any of them understood the consequences of damaging school property. Murmurs rippled through the room as he pointed to AG's desk. He stated clearly that whether it was a prank or bullying, anyone with half a brain could see it was malicious. He reminded them that those desks were bought using their parents' taxes and defacing them was no joke. It was a crime. His voice steady, he told the class that writing harmful things to push someone toward despair wasn't just childish mischief, it had real consequences. The room went quiet. The ones responsible began to shift nervously. He drove his point home by saying that in recent times, even fans who harass celebrities face legal action. Just because they were students didn't mean they'd get away with it. They'd get their share of consequences too. With fierce conviction, he said that this wasn't something that would just blow over. Since the entire class had taken part in the bullying, it was now a serious offense. He warned them that he wouldn't forget what happened, and that their cruelty wouldn't be dismissed as just a harmless joke.